My guest today is Bam Azizi. Bam is the CEO and co-founder at MeshConnect. Mesh, of course, securely enables safer and easier crypto deposits, payments, on-ramping, all of that good stuff. We'll learn all about it today. Welcome to the show, Bam.
Thank you, Andy, for having me.
It is a pleasure. Let's do what we do at the beginning of the show, Bam. It would be super cool if you could please introduce yourself. Yeah, I would love to hear some of your personal and professional backstory. What have you been doing in the lead up to co-founding MeshConnect?
Yeah, my background is I have a PhD in computer science. I started my previous company in cybersecurity, kind of cut my teeth in authentication space. I was co-founder of No Password. Sold that business to Logmin, which was another public company back then. And I was there for more than a year, and then I got out and I started Mesh. So I'm looking at basically this space from identity and authentication lens, and you're coming with a wealth of knowledge from cybersecurity to make sure that we offer a secure, compliant connection layer to the world of crypto.
Awesome. Okay, well, to begin with then, Bam, do you want to just begin to flesh out what Mesh is? Just, begin at a high level. I suppose, what are you guys doing with MeshConnect? What's the big idea?
So the idea was basically the crypto is built by crypto pro people, and it's built by crypto for crypto pro people. It's not for day-to-day people. And obviously, the user experience is really not ready for the prime time for billions of users to be able to interact with their crypto assets. And of course, the expectation is too high for crypto because it's coming from the tech world, and people feel like why all these tech people cannot build something that's easy to use. And they're comparing 10, 15 years of crypto to 200 years of banking industry, and they want kind of a similar experience. And they're right, they need to have that expectation, but it's on us to basically enable all of the platforms to be able to offer a better user experience to the end users so they can use it on a day-to-day basis. So when we looked at the market, we felt like there was a gap in the market on the connection layer piece that we can fix, and we can build a better connection layer that offers a better user experience to the end users. And that unlocks many new use cases like better deposits, ramp, as you mentioned, payments, payouts. And the goal is anyone should be able to walk into a coffee shop, basically just swipe their phone and pay with their crypto assets and pick up their coffee and walk away. They should not wait for 20 minutes. They should not copy and paste wallet address. They should not scan a QR code, and they should not pay a hefty gas fee. So these are the problems, the core problems we are trying to solve with Mesh.
Yeah, well, when you put it like that, there's there's a little bit to work on, but it sounds like you're heading in the right direction. Also, be useful to understand who you're building MeshConnect for. I guess in one sense it's for everyone. It's for crypto users, full stop. But I'm sure there are different customer or target market segments that you're building for as well. And also, just are there any limitations in terms of jurisdictional or different places around the world? So maybe just please lay that out.
Sure. So by default, we are a global company because crypto is a global phenomenon. So anyone who is interacting with crypto, we can serve them. That said, we are not a B2C company. We're not selling to end users. We're enabling businesses to offer a better service to their end users. All of our businesses or customers are B2C type businesses. So they're retail focused. And in terms of the geolocations, we're global. In terms of the use cases, we are mostly focused on payment. But if you are if you're an exchange or a self-hosted wallet, you want to work with Mesh to offer a better experience for your users to be able to deposit assets to you or transfer assets or ramp assets on your platform in an easier way.
Yeah, makes a perfect sense. And I suppose it says on your website that you and I think you alluded to this, Bam, to beginning, well, now to begin with your core or primary products, Mesh Deposit, Mesh Pay, and Mesh Rent. And I suppose the names kind of explain themselves, but maybe just articulate a little bit, for exchanges or wallet providers or whoever it may be, just how these products can enhance the user experience for their users.
Sure. So let me take a step back and go a little bit deep for a minute. Bear with me.
Please.
As a technical founder, it's easy to get too technical, so I'm trying to be careful here. But basically, what we wanted to build was that connection layer. So we felt like if you look at the evolution of embedded finance platform, like Gen 1 was like Yodlee and the like, and then Gen 2 was Plaid and companies like that they were like, the only tools that they had at their disposal was screen scraping. So when you're scraping the screen, you're reading data, you're not interacting because it's a one-way thing, right? So that's why they built a data aggregator, because that's the only tool that they have. Whatever we built, everything that we built at Mesh was based on API integration. That means we were connected to the engine directly. We didn't need to scrape at all. And when you're building API, you're building connection. So we're a connection aggregator. That's hence the name MeshConnect. And so that was the first thing that we did to make sure that we can build something that can go deep into the engine and we can build functionalities on top of it. Because when you have connection, you can build functionalities. And then first thing that came to mind was like data aggregation. Of course, you can read information, you can do that, but we were ambitious, we want to do more. So, and we were focused mostly on emerging assets like crypto. Now we're 100% crypto backed and we had equities as well. So we felt like, okay, like we are integrating with all these exchanges like Coinbase and Binance and others. Let's go sell to them. Like if you're exchange 1, you want to get more deposit from exchange 2, replace copying and pasting wallet address with MeshConnect so people can easily move assets to you. You can build basically a one-way or two-way bridge to bring assets easier to your ecosystem. And then we try to sell the same product to self-hosted wallets. Like, this work for exchanges. We have all these amazing customers. You should use it too. And they told us, yes, that's interesting, but that's not our problem. Our main problem is ramp. And the reason ramp is an issue for self-hosted wallets is because they don't do KYC self-hosted, and it's hard to connect bank account. So the only way that you can basically ramp assets to your self-hosted wallet is basically through credit card, like Visa, MasterCard, Apple Pay, whatever. And that's very, very expensive. You have to pay 500 to 800 bips. So if you pay $100 to buy $100 USDC, you probably get $92 to $95. So we solved that problem through our connectivity or connection layer with all these exchanges. You would basically use them as a ramp provider. So you can ramp money to your Coinbase account and then transfer it to your MetaMask. And you would get like $98. So you save like 300 bits because of that. And so we were happy, like we were like closing all these exchanges and wallets. And then we had one customer out of Colombia or somewhere in LATAM that they were like sending a ton of traffic to us and volume. And it was a small company. It's like, they're no Coinbase or MetaMask. Why they have so high volume? And I checked their website. I used Google Translate. I just went through their website and they had like Mesh as a button. You could click, connect your Binance, and then pay with your assets. And that was like some sort of an aha moment for me. And the light bulb went on and felt like, wow, that's an amazing use case. So we started building Mesh Pay, which is a combination of Mesh Ramp and Mesh Deposit. But instead of selling to merchants directly, if they're not big enough, we just go through PSPs. So if you're PayPal or you're Stripe or Shopify, you already have hundreds of thousands of merchants and millions of users using your platform. You just enable Mesh for your users so they can pay with crypto, and we take care of the rest. And that's kind of where the future of crypto is. Like, I believe strongly that the killer app for crypto is a stablecoin. The killer app for stablecoin is payment. So that's kind of where our head is, and that's where we want to be, and that's where the volume is. I think we have trillions of dollars of stablecoin transactions, and majority of that is in the consumer payment. That's a very, very large market that we can build for.
Well, just look, that's really well articulated, Bam, and I think it's worth maybe just getting you to explain that again, because if you think back to the very beginnings of digital cash or cryptocurrency, the Bitcoin white paper was called, what was it called, a peer-to-peer payment network or something like that, which is essentially what you're describing, and that's what people want to be able to do. They want to simply pay with digital cash, but of course that digital cash kind of needs to be roughly stable against some kind of currency, and you just need to be able to pay simply and elegantly, as you described, maybe the kind of the coffee cafe type experience. So just it's worth maybe just any thoughts you have on that in terms of framing it as the future of crypto.
Sure. I think you should, you're absolutely right. If you look at the origin of Bitcoin, it was not supposed to make you rich quick. That was not the intention. The intention was solving the basically financial problem that people had back in 2008. We gave all the authority to central banks, and Bitcoin was born to kind of solve that problem in a decentralized way. And the killer use case even for Bitcoin supposedly was payment, that you can pay someone without like going through a centralized authority. Instead of like using Swift and all these central bank, you just pay someone directly and cut all these middlemen. But because of the design of Bitcoin that you can only mint 21 million Bitcoin, the price went up because the more you used it, people more wanted Bitcoin and the price of Bitcoin went up. And then we had L2s or layer 2s that built on top of L1s like Ethereum or Bitcoin or Solana. So L2s were like perfect place to build stable coins. And that's why you have Circle, Tether, soon Ripple. Basically, they're building their stable coin or PayPal, PyUSD that basically enables people to use a stable coin, to not be worried about volatility. It doesn't go up, it doesn't go down. It's exactly a tokenized dollar, basically, that you can use that for payment. Because the problem with volatility of the prices, if I pay you in this moment $100, you might get $95, you might get $110, right? So it might go up and down. But with a stable coin, you know exactly this price doesn't change during the course of this transaction that could take 2 seconds or 2 minutes or 20 minutes. That's kind of how stable coins kind of came to the world to fix that problem. And I think it has the best of both worlds. It has all the benefit of basically it's tech enabled, it's decentralized. It has all the benefits of blockchains and none of the downside of cryptocurrencies. So it's a stable currency. So I think that's the future, and I think that was needed, and we got there like maybe 5-6 years ago, and we needed to build more on top of this, but we needed more adoption. Now we're seeing adoption, and next gen would be basically how to solve that coffee shop scenario. You just walk in, swipe your phone, get your coffee, and run. We're still like a couple of years away from, but hopefully we get there soon.
Yeah, hopefully we get there soon. I'm sure we will. Look, Bam, is there any particular, I don't know, kind of sector or industry niche that is fastest in terms of adopting Mesh and the Mesh products? I don't know if it's exchanges, wallets, or just combination of everything. Where are you seeing the fastest growth and the most success with those different use cases?
In general, stablecoin can be used for many different things. And I give you just some meta data. So 5 years ago, stablecoins were like around 15% of transactions on chain. Today is more than 85% of transactions on chain are stablecoins. And the market cap of stablecoins today is around 15%. And we know that there is a lag between market cap and usage. So at some point, stablecoins would be 85% of market cap of the entire crypto industry. So if crypto next 10 years become $100 trillion market cap, probably like 80 trillion of that is tokenized stable assets. Could be tokenized equity or tokenized yield bonds or tokenized fiat as well, but it would be tokenized and stable assets, and that happens through stablecoins. So that's kind of my prediction. That's kind of where the market in general goes to. But in terms of like day-to-day use case, there are 4 categories that crypto it has a killer app. One is in hyperinflation areas, in places that their local currency are not as strong as US dollar or euro. Is inflationary, so the value goes down, like in Latin, Turkey, and some Asian countries. So people in those areas, they want to get paid in crypto. They want to pay in crypto. So if there are 2 merchants offering the same merchandise, same service, you as a user go to a place that they accept crypto, because you don't, every time you go to the fiat currency and you pay, you lose money. So you would rather to pay with USDT and call it a day. So those are the areas that basically crypto has killer use case. That's number one. Number two is there are basically companies that they want crypto in, crypto out. Gaming companies, casinos, highly regulated, but they don't want to touch fiat for all sort of reasons. Like they're in Europe, they're in US, they want to offer crypto payment because it's easier for people to transfer and they can withdraw anytime they want. It's 24/7, all sort of benefits that it has for them. That's the highest volume as of today. And then third one is luxury goods. You're hearing like Lamborghini, Ferrari, Louis Vuitton, they offer like crypto payment. They accept Bitcoin, they say. But eventually all of them will convert to stable coins. And the reason they are offering that, because every time Bitcoin price goes up, their sales goes up too. So we have a company called, that is our partner, called Blade. They're basically, you can charter a jet or helicopter in New York. So they want, like, every time crypto price goes up, their revenue goes up. So, but they're not a tech company. They're a public company, super regulated, and they don't know how to accept it, but they see the pattern and trend. That's where kind of Mesh and other PSPs who are more crypto friendly and tech forward can help those type of companies to offer crypto without knowing anything about crypto, because they get cash or fiat, but they offer crypto payment to their end users. That's category 3. And category 4 is the most important one, is cross-border payment. Like companies like Wise and Deal and others, they want to be able to offer crypto paying and payout to their end users and to their businesses, that their customers. That makes sense, right? You don't want to pay Forex. Like right now, the way they do it, they keep 2 parallel books and they manage it in different geolocations. And some geolocations is harder to maintain. Some geolocations is slower. So they have to build all sort of tricks and hacks to make it happen almost real time. But blockchain is real time. Blockchain is global by nature and can fix all of those problems. It's next generation. So if you're like using horses, blockchain is cars and rockets that can help you get there faster. It takes time for companies, for them, because they spend millions, if not billions of dollars to build those networks and tricks and hacks, but at some point they will give it up.
Makes sense. Thank you, Bam. I saw you guys talked about there was some recent partnerships, I think, with PayPal Ventures and Alchemy Pay. You want to just kind of talk through, how that fits in?
Not Alchemy, MoonPay.
MoonPay, yeah.
MoonPay and PayPal, yes. So PayPal is an investor at Mesh. They invested basically through their PyUSD. I remember that when we got the basically authorization from the CEO of PayPal, it was Friday evening, and banks were closed. And they wanted to close because the announcement would go out before banks open in Monday. And it was all set. So journalist was like, pen on the paper is ready to go. We're not changing it. So if it was wire transfer, probably the announcement would go sooner than we close. But because they did it through PyUSD, or PayPal USD, they basically transferred it same day and we received it same day, same minute, instantaneously. And that was the moment they felt like, okay, it's not just hype, it's real. We received the actual funding in Pi USD. And if it was not because of stablecoin, there would basically open up all sort of problems, because like they might change their mind Monday morning and not wire the announcement goes out, right? So there are a lot of things that stablecoins are bringing into the table. One of it is like it's 24/7. There is no authority can cancel it, or like there is no downtime per se. In terms of our partnership with MoonPay, so MoonPay is the king of like ramp. They're offering Apple Pay, they're offering like Google Pay, they're offering Visa card, MasterCard, all sort of payment. Like they even offer Venmo, which is a PayPal company. So they wanted to offer more to their users. So they started basically this partnership to offer exchange ramp to their users as well. So if you're a Coinbase user and you're a MoonPay customer, you can allow your users to use Coinbase as a source of fund. And that's what we had. It was a symbiotic partnership, and they have all the relationships. They have thousands of customers that they can roll out Mesh to.
Yeah. Thank you, Bam. Just as we start to finish up this part of the podcast, you're in quite a unique position in that you would kind of see both ends of, or all ends of the crypto user journey, from, the retail end users to all of the different platform providers in between. How do you think about, I guess, I don't know, tackle this in any way you want, but the state of, crypto at the moment, everything from the user experience to what's happening in the markets. It's just kind of an interesting time. It feels like we're on the cusp of potentially another wave of adoption. But of course, the usual hazards, scams, and roadblocks are still there. Just talk us through where you kind of see where we're at, and where we're perhaps heading in the short to medium term, Bam.
So if I had the crystal ball to predict the future, I would say next 10 years, everything would be tokenized. All the real world assets like real estate, all the bonds, everything that you call assets, it will be tokenized. It used to be paper-based. We went through digitization. We digitized everything post 2000. Now it's time to tokenize it. Because when you're digitizing it, it's still something sitting in your server. It's hard to access, it's hard to transact, it's hard to own. But when you tokenize it, it's open, it's in the world. Like you're going through the same type of mindset that we had for cloud computing. For a long time, all these enterprises, they were like reluctant to go and let their data centers go and build everything on the cloud. Now it's like cloud is the default. Like if you build a data center, it's like, are you crazy? Like why you're doing this? So it would be the same type of trend that's going to happen in the next 10 years. And I believe that another like accelerator for this movement is AI, because AI is dependent on data, and all these financial assets are now behind closed doors. So the moment that they're on blockchain, there are a lot of AI type application can be built on top. So that could be a good accelerator that maybe cut the timeline from 10 years to 5 years. In the short term, though, I think what we need to do is adding more regulation. We are all adults here. We can take bad news, we can take good news, but no news, like we had no news for like last 10 years or 5 years on the regulation side. We want to have clarity on the regulation to know what is red, what is green. I don't want to swim in the gray area. And we as a company, we're building rails. In the moment regulation will be announced, or we can implement them as a guardrail, and that increases our market cap, because all these risk-averse banks and financial institutions all of a sudden can use Mesh and they can become a customer, because they have to offer something on the tokenized part or digitized part as well. So that's kind of where my mind is, that in the next 2 years, I really want to see more healthy regulation for the crypto industry. We are like, there are other nations that they are ahead of us. So in Asia, in even in Turkey, in Latam, a lot of these countries, they already regulated crypto and they acknowledge the value of crypto, and they put guardrails. So for companies like we don't have another FTX situation, right? So and I think that's needed in US and in the Western countries as well. And that will thrive innovation in the crypto industry. That's what I'm looking for.
Yep. Very well said. Thank you, Bam. All right. Well, as we finish up with this part of the podcast, please just, for anyone listening that is potentially thinking of ways that they could implement some of your products to help ease their customers' pain points, just tell people what is the best place for them to go to learn all about what you guys are doing at MeshConnect. What should they do? Where should they go, Bam?
Yeah, so you're a startup. You're basically a platform that very, very developer friendly. So go to meshconnect.com, sign up. We will work with you if you're a startup. We give you all sort of freemiums to test the product, to build an amazing app on top of it. Our APIs are super friendly. It takes you less than a week to build. So if you're a builder, if you're a hacker, go check meshconnect.com and build something, and we'll love to talk to you. If you're part of an organization that you want to embrace crypto, or you're like in a payment company, you want to see how MeshConnect enables big payment companies to offer crypto payment, contact us. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can go to meshconnect.com and email us as well. And we'll love to talk to you.
Awesome. It is time to finish the episode then, Bam. And we do that, of course, by running you through the very famous crypto conversation hot take round. Are you up for it?
Yes, let's do it.
Let's do it, Bam. I'm just going to run some questions at you. Just want you to give me your honest answers, hot take style, if you like. Question 1 for you is, Bam, where would you say that you sit on the Bitcoin maximalist to multi-chain opportunist spectrum?
I'm multi-chain opportunist spectrum.
Yeah, that's okay. Thought you might say that. What would you say then, Bam, is your firmest conviction crypto opinion?
That's a hard question. Can you give me an example?
I just mean, what crypto opinion do you have that you strongly think is going to be proven true?
I think I said that right. So I believe that the market cap of stablecoins would be bigger than Bitcoin and all the other assets combined. In the next 10 years, we will have everything tokenized. All the assets will be tokenized.
Yeah. And look, another way of thinking about this is, Bill Gates famously said, Bam, that we tend to overestimate what we can accomplish in 2 years, but underestimate what we can accomplish in 10. So you did just kind of say it, I guess, but 10 years time, MeshConnect, Web3, stablecoins, payments, what does it all look like?
Yeah, I think in what I want to see is be able, I want every single users who are interacting with crypto, interact at least once with Mesh, connect their account and see how easy it is. And you never go back to the old days that you copy and paste wallet address. I think that makes your life easier, makes your interaction with blockchain more secure, more compliant. And that's I want to live in a world that I can pay with my crypto assets the same way I'm paying with my fiat assets as of today, and even faster and better and more secure. So, and I think MeshConnect is at the forefront of it. So if that mission becomes a reality, I can get retired.
Yeah, very well said. All right. Well, another way of thinking about this again is a wonderful quote from William Gibson, who famously said that the future is already here. It's just not evenly distributed. With that in mind, Bam, can you think of an example of the future being here right now, but most people aren't aware of it?
I think, again, back to my first point is a stable coin, right? So it's here, it's the future, but we have not realized it fully yet. So, but it's going to change your world, whether you know it or not.
Yeah, I like it. All right. That brings us to our final question, which is, what is your favorite science fiction, book, a film, or TV show?
Science fiction, Harry Potter. No, it's not science fiction.
Well, it's science fiction adjacent. I guess Harry Potter it's what's that, fantasy, I think. Yeah, but close enough. We'll accept it.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right. Hey, thank you so much for coming and spending some time with us today, Bam. This was a lot of fun. Close it out just by telling people where they can find you on X or wherever else you like to hang out online. And of course, again, just quickly make the case for MeshConnect and how people can investigate your products and services.
Sure. Yeah. Go to meshconnect.com, add me in LinkedIn, and you find me Bam Azizi with double I on Twitter or X.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Bam. All the best, and bye for now.
Thank you, Andy. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.